Hi there. Welcome everybody. This is Karen Highland with the Highland Group. Together with my husband Chris Highland, we sell real estate in Central Maryland, and our home base is in Frederick, Maryland. I've put together a series of several videos explaining the real estate process to buyers and sellers. And on this video today, we're going to talk about the time frame between contract to close, specifically as it affects your credit score. And with me on the video today is my social media friend Blair Warner. Blair is the credit counselor and founder of a company called Upgrade My Credit. You may have seen him before on some of our other videos. And so he's here to talk about some of the things that happen between the time you get a contract in place and the time you go to settlement.
As most people know, when you get ready to look for a house, they're going to pull your credit to do a pre-qualifying or a pre-approval, and you know that's a true inquiry. It's an inquiry that hits your credit score and your credit, well, not your credit score, but it shows up on your credit report, and but that's okay. Don't worry about it, because if you close within the next 30 days, hopefully. Then it'll only, even though you might pull their credit a second time, it's only going to count as one inquiry, because the way FICO works is you can have several mortgage pulls within a 30-day period and only count as one inquiry. Okay. Then after they get that pre-approval and you've shown them houses and they find the house they love and they put a contract on it, they're going to actually start the underwriting process. They don't start any underwriting process until you have a contract. And then when they're going through that underwriting process and they're getting all the documents that the client, that the buyer needs, and they're getting close to closing the settlement, they're probably going to pull it, again, just to make sure that the credit score hasn't changed. And the reason they do that is they don't know if you did any new credit during that, since they did a pre-approval. Maybe you went out and bought a new car, or maybe you went out and got a new refrigerator at Conn's or something. And they need to know if you have more debt, have incurred any more debt during that time, and or if your credit score went down.
Okay, so I think that probably in most people's minds, they're thinking there's this one credit score check, and then we go to, we do our thing and we go to settlement. So knowing that credit pull is going to happen later on, there are probably a lot of things that people need to know they shouldn't do. Right?
That's right, yeah. So I kind of alluded to it, when I was talking before, but you don't want to do any new credit without talking to your mortgage person. Well, actually, don't even do any more, any new credit. Don't apply for a new car. Don't go out and get any new furniture for your new house that you're getting ready to move into, or anything like that. Don't, even on credit cards, don't start using up your credit cards. Don't touch anything related to credit until after closing, till after settlement.
Right. Okay. Now, we hadn't talked about this, but I just thought of this other incident where we had some clients right before settlement, a couple days before, the lender pulled their credit again, and up on the credit score, credit report came a late payment that had gone past the 90 days. So
yeah,
there's probably some things you should do as well before you start this whole process.
Yeah, and that's part of the, I guess you're kind of walking on pins and needles a little bit, from contractor to everybody is. A realtor is, and everybody is, until closing. And then when it closes, everybody's like, whew, because even if you don't go out and do any more new credit, it is possible that something could show up when they pull it again right before closing, something that could show up that hadn't been reported yet, or some old debt that a lender decided, well, we haven't reported that in a couple years. Let's see if we can, report this and collect on it, and it'll show up on there. So be prepared for a few, possible surprises. It's not what's the word? It's not inappropriate to be a little bit nervous right before settlement to make sure that nothing's ever happened to the credit. Now, one thing that you can do, though, to make sure that it goes a little bit smoother is if you're trying to get like an FHA loan, and most banks have a requirement of 640 credit score. If you just have like a 641 when you do that pre-qual, you're taking a big risk that when they re-pull it, it could just go down to 639, just 2 points. It's better to try to do all that you can before you start looking for a house and do that, pre-approval, that your score is more like a 650, 660, or as high as you can get it, so that it won't have such a small margin that it could go down below and be kicked out. Yeah.
Right, right. It's not the time you want to be living on the edge when you're trying to buy a house, right?
Yeah.
So good, really good information. And I don't think that buyers need to be a nervous wreck during that time, but they do need to just be cautious and circumspect, I think is a good word. Right. So if you do find that you need a little extra help with that credit score, give Blair a call. You can find him on his website at www.upgrademycredit.com. And if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, his information will be down underneath. If it's on my blog, I'll have the information in the blog post. But I highly recommend Blair. He's really helped some of our clients out and saved the day for us.
Thank you. I'm glad to.
Thanks for answering our questions, Blair.